Oh, look what I found. Another Grand Theft Auto Online article. Actually, one of you mentioned it during the live stream Tuesday, and I just thought you guys were referring to an article that IGN posted where they were referencing the Game Informer article that we went over Monday. And since I got nothing else going on today besides playing Dead by Daylight, earning double blood points, and playing as Freddy, I decided we just do this for a discuss video. Okay, 2 discuss videos in a week. You're welcome. So once again, just like with the video a few days ago, which will be linked in the discuss playlist and at the end of this video, we're not going to go over this part. We're going to start with the interview between IGN's Luke Reilly as well as Imran Sarwar, the guy that we had the interview of Monday. He is the director of design at Rockstar, by the way, Imran Sarwar. And once more, everything in bold right here, that's Luke. And this is obviously Imran. So just want to give you guys a little heads up about that. And the article is linked below in the description section for your reading pleasure. And the reason why I'm putting these in the discuss category of my channel is because while we're reading this discussion between these two people, Luke and Imran, I'm also chiming in, and you guys can do so as well. Part of the discussion below in the comment section, and I haven't read it yet, so it's possible that they're going to go over a lot of the same stuff that was discussed in the Game Informer article. Then again, there may be some other stuff as well. I guess we're going to find out together. Like I said, I had nothing else to post today, so it was either this or nothing. So pick one. All right, so here we go. IGN, Grand Theft Auto Online launched on 2 platforms back in late 2013, more or less alongside Grand Theft Auto 5. Here we are, 3 platforms and 4 years later, and it's still growing. Grand Theft Auto is admittedly a real cultural juggernaut, and it's been previously discussed how Grand Theft Auto Online has exceeded Rockstar's expectations. But was there anyone back in 2013 that predicted that Grand Theft Auto Online would still be thriving in this fashion? And here's Imran's response. I think we all hoped it might be, but the launch and first 8 or 9 months of the game were not very successful. Single player was very successful, but Grand Theft Auto Online began pretty poorly. We were losing players rapidly, and even worse, we ourselves were not excited enough about the updates we were making. Once we got more ambitious with our updates and re-engineered a few things to increase the stability and saw what it took to really run a game service, things began to turn around. So basically, that part is a lot of stuff he discussed in the article over at Game Informer on Monday. So basically the same thing. Continuing with IGN, at what stage was it obvious that the post-release environment for Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online was going to be very different, one to Grand Theft Auto 4 and the excellence of the episodes of Liberty City? Imran's response, we absolutely love the single player and always will. The proof of this is in Grand Theft Auto 5. The single player game was hugely ambitious and complicated to make, but we also love multiplayer games and was always wanted to make a multiplayer game as engaging and evolutionary as our single player games. Grand Theft Auto Online had the potential, but it took a while and some internal restructuring to begin to realize that potential. We do not always have a fixed plan or a fixed model as how we will work, and in the future would love to do more single-player expansions for games. It just didn't happen this time. Last time we had a big deal in place with Microsoft that meant we were obliged to make the expansions, or they might not have happened either. This time we were obliged to make the multiplayer heists really good, as we had publicly committed to do that. Okay, so continuing. IGN. Have there been any stats that were so surprising that they changed the way you approach something in particular down the track, or helped you decide on otherwise unanticipated content to focus on? Imran, the most obvious example was the community's response to the introduction of special cargo missions that you access from the executive office in Further Adventures in Finance and Felony. Players were quick to embrace the idea of owning and running your business, and it really changed the dynamic between PvP and co-op gameplay in free mode. It also reaffirmed for us that players love having a big functional item like the office to work towards. If someone didn't have yet an office, then they could run heists and help out other CEOs or biker MCs to save enough cash of their own. Then they, in turn, start their own special cargo business, generating more cash and helping other players up in the criminal ladder at the same time. These statistics and analytics helped to shape the way we expanded businesses further with the biker update on through import-export and into gun running, smuggler's run, and beyond, making sure that there was always plenty of gameplay attached to the big purchasable properties and businesses. Going back to IGN now, do you guys keep some kind of running tally on how many vehicles and weapons and outfits and missions and interiors, etc. you've added over the years, which is a lot, I'm willing to bet. It must be a mile long at this stage. Definitely. Imran, we have metrics and statistics built around everything we add and subsequently everything the player plays, purchases, sells, and uses. The list is huge, with each pack bringing more property, more vehicles, weapons, gameplay modes, clothing, and accessories. Constantly tracking these items and the players' behaviors around them lets us stay reactive and keep building on Grand Theft Auto Online, giving the players and community a better and better experience with more to do and more reasons to stay invested in their life within Grand Theft Auto Online. IGN. What's the scale of the team within Rockstar still dedicated to growing Grand Theft Auto Online? And this is interesting. This is definitely a question I think a lot of us have wondered, because you have Rockstar North, you have Rockstar San Diego, you have several smaller development houses under the Rockstar umbrella, but within each development house you have different divisions, right? Different departments. So let's see what Imran's response is to that question. It's not a separate team, rather it's threaded throughout the entire Rockstar operation. We still have dedicated Grand Theft Auto Online focused team members within every studio, constantly pushing every feature and every bit of content to its absolute limit across the board, along with people who work on and also work on other projects such as me. This is the only way we could see to deliver a product that was consistently at the same level of everything else we've made. Utilize all the talent in the whole company. There's no concessions that made when it comes to Grand Theft Auto Online updates. The community have come to expect and deserve the best possible experience, and we all continue to push for this with no compromises. So that's interesting that, you know, perhaps it's not just Rockstar North that's involved with Grand Theft Auto Online. Perhaps, you know, all the other like smaller development houses are as well. There's like a handful of them, including maybe some elements over at Rockstar San Diego, and vice versa when it comes to, I guess, Red Dead Redemption. But predominantly Grand Theft Auto Online at Rockstar North and Red Dead Redemption 2 at Rockstar San Diego. But I'm sure that it seems pretty apparent that they do seem to work together. That's interesting. IGN. On that note, what has been some of the most popular content over the past 4 years? Imran says, Heist was the first really huge update that was an immediate hit, bringing in huge player numbers, and they are still widely popular. Adversary modes also generate massive player numbers, with Slasher, Deadline being two of the most popular adversary modes to date, but every new adversary mode finds its fan base. He said the exact same thing in the Game Informer article, and I find it hard to believe that some of the adversary modes have anyone still playing. Like running back, for example. I mean, there may be a few, like Deadline. I could see Deadline. I could definitely see Slasher still being extremely popular, along with, what, Overtime Rumble? But there's a lot of adversary modes that, no. I mean, moment that, you know, the double money and double RP went away, people stopped playing them. Classics like Hunting Pack and Cross the Line still have dedicated following. I'm really excited to see how later modes like Overtime Rumble and Motor Wars will do long term, as well as the feedback has been really positive. So yeah, Motor Wars feels like discount PUBG to me, and I think that's what most of us think. I believe that it could have been something more, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, Motor Wars is okay. It just could have been way better. But Overtime Rumble, I still love Overtime Rumble. It's fun. Even if you're not playing for double money. But hey, I'm not going to turn down some double money, Rockstar, if you ever bring that back. Free mode gameplay is still incredibly popular. Free mode events blew free mode wide open and gave players a way to join together seamlessly to play without leaving free mode. The response to this and the incredible engagement from the community really showed us that players were ready for more variety in free mode without compromising the incredible emergent gameplay and fun which can be had when 30 players come together. From free mode events onward, the community has continued to engage in the massive numbers with everything we've added to free mode, including moving special cargo across the map, stealing import-export vehicles, biker clubhouse contracts, or running guns from the bunkers and selling illicit goods from biker businesses. I don't feel the same way about the free mode events, to be honest. And I know at the very beginning when they launched that update, it was somewhat popular, but I think most people don't care as much about it. I mean, that's my take, my pulse from my viewers, subscribers, and fans within the Rockstar community. I'd rather just have some of the older stuff back, like the Lester Distract the Cops, some of the assassination jobs for like Trevor, along with Gerald, and the occasional cargo drop, where they would drop a crate somewhere and you'd have people racing towards the crate, murdering each other in the process, along with the armored truck. I miss the armored truck. All right, continuing with IGN. Are there any poor, neglected vehicles sitting in San Andreas Super Autos or out on the street that you guys see barely anyone buy or store in the garages? See, I got the Stratum I like to hone around in. I don't think I've ever seen anyone else with one. Well, maybe not. You're definitely not alone in your Stratum, and it's not doing too badly. At last count, there are, 377,000 people driving the Stratum. Wow. In case you're wondering, that's the Stratum right there. For all of you like, what's the Stratum? Well, there it is. There's so much variety in terms of what to play that we find that the players really engage with all of it. There's something for everyone, so the worst-selling vehicle isn't necessarily well engaged with. It's not just as hotly sought after as a supercar like the Grotti Turismo or the Oppressor or rocket power flying missile launching motorcycle. So, yeah, I mean, even the lesser popular vehicles, with so many people playing Grand Theft Auto Online, I can imagine that there's at least a few thousand people out there that bought it. I can see that. Continuing with IGN, let's see. I really enjoy playing Grand Theft Auto Online with friends, but I also enjoy the solitude of going about my business, chipping away at tasks like sourcing cars, etc. by myself, only with the pressure of real people in my vicinity who I largely try to avoid. With so many players, there must be a huge spectrum of playstyles. How tricky is it on the team's end to build a game that needs to cater to such a broad base? Okay, this is a very interesting question, because this is something I do not like about a lot of the new business ventures, where you're required to be in a public lobby in order to do some of these jobs. Some of the import exporting, the the warehouses, the bunkers stuff, along with sourcing at the hangar. And I feel the same way Luke does. I kind of want to be in my own friend lobby, either alone or with some of my friends, subscribers, viewers, and fans, than taking a gamble into a public lobby, when it comes to that sort of thing. So let's see what Imran has to say about that. This turned out to be one of the game's greatest strengths. Different parts of the Grand Theft Auto Online community play the game differently, and each sub-community has millions of players, whether it's players who love traditional Grand Theft Auto mission gameplay or other more specialized groups like racers, stunners, movie makers, race creators, or bikers. We're constantly listening to each community and working to address their needs in-game. There are dedicated crews of players who reach out. For instance, they want props for to work better in the race creator, or they think that we are introducing too many of a particular kind of vehicle or weapon. However, at the same time, there are just as many different play styles on our team as they are in the global community. So while our core mission design team focuses on creating the epic missions that come with something like gun running, we have our own set of racing fans or adversary mode experts that are continuously coming up with new ideas for us to try. And going back to Luke at IGN, simply, how do you think Grand Theft Auto Online has got as large as it has, and where does it go now? Imran responds, we think a big part of the success of Grand Theft Auto Online comes from the diversity of the experience combined with our commitment to making it work and making changes as we went along. The mission from the very start was to bring something to multiplayer that was not just new and unique, but would be made at the same level that we aim with our story-based games, and that would gradually evolve over time. We knew this would not be easy, but even with that in mind, we stumbled in the first year We had a pretty rough launch period, and we had made big promises related to our most ambitious planned edition, Heist, that turned out to be far from complicated to design, and then we had anticipated, and our first 2 or 3 attempts did not meet our standards, setting us back ages. Yep, definitely ages. During that period, all the way through the middle of 2014, we were losing players in Grand Theft Auto Online and was close to failing. We knew that we had to get Heist right and deliver on our promise, especially since we had a chance to reset with a new set of players coming in as we transitioned to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Heists were an accumulation of everything we had learned up to that point, and they were a big hit to players too. That set us on a path of creating bigger, more ambitious updates with a greater variety of content, even as we worked behind the scenes to make the game itself more stable. That learning process gave us greater understanding and appreciation of different audiences and playstyles inside Grand Theft Auto Online, and player numbers have been growing ever since. Over the summer, we had the biggest months actively since the game launched in October 2013. We will continue to look for ways to deliver different kinds of content and make sure there's always something coming around the corner for everyone. And IGN's next question is, how do you think the success of Grand Theft Auto Online will change the way both Rockstar Games and the players themselves will be looking at Rockstar Games 3-4 years plus down the road? Let's see, Imran's reply is, we hope players will come to expect games that can offer both an incredibly deep story-based experience as well as a deep and complex world for multiplayer players. We love stories in games, but we also set ourselves on the mission of creating the best open world multiplayer experiences possible. From this point forward, the challenge for our open worlds will be to try and make both a story-based experience and a large multiplayer experience to the extremely high standards that we set for ourselves. Same as always, and always evolving. Next question is, despite the popularity, there's still a degree of cynicism towards Grand Theft Auto Online from some, which seems associated with the move from single-player DLC and leveraging to the shark card system. Now, this was a big issue that came up in the last article, so we'll see what Imran has to say this time around. We simply disagree. We are really happy with the game as it's structured, and it provides players with the best of possible worlds, access to the huge amount of content for free, the option to earn or play or buy if you're not a regular player, and the community does not get fractured over time. If a player chooses to ignore an item or mode, they are still in the same game world as other people with access to all the same gameplay. For us, this structure lets us provide a wide array of modes, toys, and experiences, and experiment much more that we could than with any other system. We've gone out of our way to run a service that is very, very fair and generous to its players. I think the issue is they've made these new quote-unquote toys more expensive than in the past. And like I mentioned in the Discuss video the other day, I get that it takes time and money for their teams to produce this content for Grand Theft Auto Online. And I realize that there are far worse monetization systems out there. But at the same time, the reality is a Megalodon shark card, which is $8 million of in-game currency, equates to $100 US, does not buy what it used to. So I really feel like that maybe at the very least they should raise the amounts that the shark cards give you, in order to balance this out a little bit. I'm just saying. All right, let's see the next question from IGN. How much thought is put into the temporary discounts and double XP content? Are you just rotating it around, or is it a bit more laser-like to spotlight certain stuff within the game you want more people to actually try? Is there anything you've slipped in that there hasn't really resonated with players, or something that didn't make a big splash but later grew in popularity after players were encouraged to try it again? Imran replies, there are so many different activities inside Grand Theft Auto Online that it's only natural for some to be more popular than others. So we do try to encourage players to dive back in and try modes or missions that we think people might have overlooked. Slasher is a great example of a mode that we created for Halloween that has gone on to become a fan favorite for the tension it delivers in matches, which is one of the key reasons we brought it back inside the bunker with gun running. And I do applaud Rockstar for, doing more event weeks, because that was something I actually ran it about a year or so ago. And there was a time when they weren't doing weekly events. They would only do like maybe a monthly event whenever a new update would come out. But they started doing weekly events, and during the weekly events, they usually have discounts for some of the items in the game and vehicles, and they usually have a way for you to earn double money. Like going on till the end of today, for example, you can earn double money and double RP doing transform races, and double money, double RP doing the 7 original Lamar missions. And we did that Tuesday, and I easily made over $400,000 over a 3-hour period. And it's not even like we were like hardcore grinding either. We were just goofing off, having fun. So yeah, I mean, I do applaud Rockstar for having options in the game, during these events that give people another way to make money besides doing heists or missions, or doing the other various business ventures that are in the game now. So definitely, I mean, they do try. I just wish that, the shark card got you more money than it did, because like I said, $8 million just doesn't get you what it used to, when the game first launched. The next question that I'm actually really interested in is how many people are playing Grand Theft Auto Online month to month these days? And Imran's response: after falling through the first year, players' numbers started to climb in late 2014, and then much more so after heists in early 2015. By November 2015, we were averaging around 8 million players a week, and our overall player base continues to grow. This is a very vague answer. That was 2 years ago. November 2015. I really think I would like to see the numbers today. I mean, obviously not October 2014, but surely you have the numbers for September 2017. Did I say 2014? I meant 2017. I would like the numbers for winter, 2016, spring 2017, summer 2017. I mean, you could at least give us those numbers, right? I'm just saying. All right. So we're just about done with this article. One more question from Luke over at IGN. By the way, once again, the article linked below in the description section for you to go read yourself. Does the movement of Red Dead Redemption 2 in 2018 place any extra pressure on Grand Theft Auto Online to keep kicking goals for longer, or would Grand Theft Auto Online have been expected to remain as vital as ever despite the spotlight shifting to something as highly anticipated as Red Dead Redemption 2? And here is Imran's response. We've always had plans to extend beyond the launch of Red Dead Redemption 2 because as much as we love everyone to jump to our next game, it's always better to have options as to what you want to play. If people are jumping between playing the latest update to Grand Theft Auto Online and discovering our newest game for the first time, we would be very happy. For all the single-player fans who hate multiplayer games, please be aware of this. We are working to flat out Red Dead Redemption 2. Having the successful multiplayer game lets us take the necessary time with single-player games to make them all they can be, especially complex when we're working on a new system as we are right now. Although sometimes there are resource conflicts, most of the time both game modes support each other. So I'm gathering two things from this. Is that that for everyone that enjoys story mode, single play like I do, that they're working to make the story for Red Dead Redemption 2 very good. Hopefully up to the same level as Red Dead Redemption, which was awesome, by the way. Hopefully, maybe even better. I mean, I hate to do that, but it could be better. I doubt it, but as long as it's up in the same ballpark as Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm going to be a happy camper. But obviously, they are trying to balance it out. They're trying to focus between single play and multiplayer. Obviously, they've made a few bucks because of Grand Theft Auto Online. Over $1 billion in shark cards sold. And whatever they're planning on doing for Red Dead Online, I'm sure they're going to have some sort of like bonds or like gold bars or something in the works. I'm sure they're going to find a way to do that as well for Red Dead Online. So hopefully this implies from Imran that they're not going to be abandoning Grand Theft Auto Online. And that's kind of what he said in the Game Informer article, is that they would, like the first month or so, obviously they'd be focused on Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online. But, after a month or so, shortly after the launch of Red Dead Online, they would probably by the summer of 2018 have another update for Grand Theft Auto Online, similar to what they've been doing. Like in the summers, they always have the big, they start out with the big updates like they did this past summer, and then the previous summer, 2016, and of course 2015. So hopefully, as long as you have at least if you go by the November 2015 numbers, 8 million plus players. It could be more, it could be less playing Grand Theft Auto Online. Hopefully, as long as there's still plenty of people playing Grand Theft Auto Online on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC, and unfortunately, also spending money on shark cards. Hopefully, Rockstar will continue to support and update Grand Theft Auto Online going into 2018. But I am excited about the future of Grand Theft Auto Online, even though I do, like I said, wish that Rockstar would learn to balance, I guess, the shark card amounts out. Maybe they will with Red Dead Online. Maybe they will, because a lot of people have complained about that, rightfully so. And I don't have a problem with there being this system in place. I absolutely don't. Because there is ways to make money in Grand Theft Auto Online, but it does involve a lot of grinding. Of all the business ventures, with the heists, with the contact missions, even the double money events that they have, it still takes a while to raise enough money to buy a bunker, to buy an MOC, to buy a hangar, to buy the new vehicles. Like the Vigilante, which is apparently coming out tomorrow. That's going to be nearly $4 million, according to sources. $3.7 million? But you also have to factor in that you're going to need a bunker, an MOC, and a vehicle workshop in the MOC in order to customize your new Vigilante, which allegedly is coming out tomorrow. And if there's any content that does come out tomorrow, whether it's the Vigilante, new adversary mode, along with possibly, hopefully, Rockstar, maybe some Halloween content as well, like I don't know, something I've been asking for the past few years, costumes. Yeah, that would be nice, Rockstar. We have plenty of masks. I would just like some Halloween costumes, damn it. I mean, they have Halloween costumes for Friday the 13th coming out. And, that game just came out a few months ago, and it has issues, tons of issues. And yet, they have a Halloween pack for their counselors. I mean, come on, Rockstar. Give us some freaking Halloween costumes tomorrow, please. Trick or treat, Because not everyone can afford $3.7 million, for the new Batmobile. I mean, the Vigilante. I get confused. Once again, the article linked below in the description section. And let me know your thoughts. What you're thinking right now regarding this article. Is it making you feel the same way you did a few days ago with the previous article from Game Informer? Has it shed a light on a few things you may have been pondering over the past few years regarding Grand Theft Auto Online, regarding things that have happened in the past, from launch to heist to present day and going forward? Does it make you more concerned about the future of Grand Theft Auto Online and possibly even Red Dead Redemption 2 along with Red Dead Online? Feel free and share your views, your opinions, your thoughts below in the comments section.